Hi friends, it's Lauren Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me back in my craft room today. I have something exciting to share. It's the Simon Hurley Ranger Ink Solar Paste. So excited to share these with you guys. They have now officially launched, so I can show you this video and show you how I swatched all the colors out, and then a really simple card idea so that way you can showcase all of these beautiful colors, and they're just so shimmery. We have a whole rainbow of colors here, 6 different colors in this initial release, and I certainly hope that Simon brings out more colors with Ranger. But we have Cross My Heart, which is a nice pink color, Overheated for the orange, Golden Hour for the yellow, Crocodile Tears for the green, Beluga for the blue, and Royal Flush for the purple. And just look how pretty these colors are. I know they look like they're really hard to see right now, but I'm going to show you what they look like. So I'm going to swatch each color on a piece of white cardstock and black cardstock. And on my white, I'm going to do 2 different swatches. I'm going to do one, just the shimmer itself, the solar paste, and then I'm going to do another other half of this white paper on top of some water-based dye ink. So I chose a couple different kinds that I had in my stash that I thought matched the color really well. So for this first one, I'm using Piggyback from Simon Hurley. Here you can see that solar paste, and there is this like very faint pink shimmer to it. I'm grabbing my Simon Hurley paste tool set, and we're going to go ahead and swatch this out. So I am going to go ahead and just put color all the way across on my white piece of cardstock. And here you can see it's so hard to get on camera, but there is this beautiful pink like sheen shimmer to the color. So it does look white, but it has this opalescent look to it that creates just this beautiful shimmer in light. And I'm using my little palette knife to get the paste onto the paper, but then using my large scraper to really spread that thin over the paper. And you can see that pink shimmer, especially on top of the pink ink. I feel like it soaks in more of that pink color and really makes it shine. But what is amazing is what it looks like on black cardstock. You can already see some of that pink coming through just from wiping this onto the black cardstock. And I was going to use the scraper, but I was just admiring that pink shine on top of the black cardstock that I ended up just using my palette knife to spread that color. All right, so let's move on to the orange, which is Overheated. So that, again, that was Cross My Heart for the pink, and now Overheated for the orange color. And I'm applying this on the white cardstock as well as on top of some dried Marigold Distress ink. And again, just adding that color down with my palette knife and then using my scraper to scrape across the whole piece of cardstock. And I'm trying really hard to not be wasteful with my paste because I just love them so much. I have all of the lunar paste colors as well. So I am just trying to make sure I get the most out of this little cute container of color. Here is what Overheated looks like. And you can, I'm sure you saw there, that beautiful sheen look you get of this in the light. So stunning. So let's go ahead and apply it to some black cardstock. You can really see that color coming through on the thin parts of this solar paste as I use the wide scraper to really kind of brush that solar paste across the black cardstock. So here's what it looks like. It's still pretty white because it's drying. It's gonna, let me show you when this dries. You're gonna be in love as much as I am. Okay, let's move on to yellow, which is Golden Hour. And for this one, I brought back another scrapbook.com color. Oh no, this is my first time bringing out a scrapbook.com color, and this is Lantern Light. So those are the 3 types of ink pads I'm using: Simon Hurley Distress Ink and Scrapbook.com's Hybrid Ink. So again, I'm going to be repeating myself a lot. I'm going to repeat myself 5 times going through all 6 of these colors, but I'm adding some of this solar paste to the cardstock over the ink and just the white cardstock itself, and then using my large scraper to spread it. And then I'm going to go ahead and not waste anything in here in my craft room and add some of that that color to the black cardstock as well. Now I'm using kind of a cheaper black cardstock. I needed it for a birthday party to make pieces of for decorations that I was going to throw away or recycle, I should say. So I didn't buy the fanciest black cardstock. So for the swatch, you'll see my paper warp kind of a lot. So I did link down another black cardstock that I think is far superior than what I'm using. So you will see some warping on the black cardstock, but use a good cardstock, not a cheapy big box store brand cardstock, and you're going to get amazing results. So I'm moving into green, which is Crocodile Tears, such a fun name. And for the water-based ink color this time, I'm using Overzealous from Simon Hurley and Ranger ink. Again, adding the color or the paste with my palette knife and then using my large scraper to spread that color around. Now, I'm trying to get a lot of coverage on these pieces of cardstock because I'm going to let them dry and I'm going to use them for for projects in the future projects. That's the word I was looking, further in time projects. So I have my green here, and this actually has a bit more of a blue green hint to it. It's kind of hard to see here because I did put it on top of a more yellow green, but wait until I put it on the black cardstock. You're going to be amazed. I didn't realize how blue green this was. It's so beautiful. Look right there. I was like, oh, that was the reaction I made. I probably should have left in some of my sound effects when I was filming, but I'm spreading the color on the black cardstock and you can really see that it has a nice blue-green color to it. It's more, like I said, blue than yellow. It's so beautiful. Look how pretty that is. And even when it's still wet and has that kind of white cast to it, it's still so pretty and it's going to make such beautiful shimmery elements to all of your projects. We're moving into the final two colors, which I think are my two favorite colors. This was my favorite. Beluga is my favorite. I can see myself buying a jug of this stuff because I want to add it to all my water cards. So I'm applying this to my white cardstock, which has some Midnight Snack from Simon Hurley and Ranger ink. And the same thing, adding the color down and spreading it out. I love that it like absorbs the ink, I guess you could say. It really takes on the color that you put underneath it. So I definitely I'm definitely going to need to see what it looks like. Maybe if we mix, the blue ink with some purple solar paste. I'm curious like what that would look like. Oh, I am when I was filming this part, I was just like in awe of how beautiful this Beluga blue is on black cardstock. It's absolutely stunning. And finally, we're bringing out the purple, best for last, Team Purple here. And this is Royal Flush. And I put the ink down. I did Parisian purple. It's a little bit more of a blue violet, but it looks really pretty underneath the Royal Flush. So last time I'll say this, putting the paste down with my palette knife and then using my large scraper to evenly make sure I have a good coverage of this paste onto this piece of cardstock. And once that's done, I think I show the shimmer here. I forget sometimes. I just want to see it on the black cardstock. But don't worry, I'm going to show you everything once they are a little more dry. So adding the solar paste and then scraping it, and just look how beautiful that purple hue is on the black cardstock. This stuff is made for black cardstock, guys. It's going to make the coolest cards and the coolest backgrounds. I'm so excited to see what everyone creates. I'm really looking forward to going onto Instagram once this goes live and seeing everyone's beautiful creations. So here they are, pretty much dry. I've slowed it down so you can really see that shine of Cross My Heart, Overheated. Just look at that beautiful tint they have. They are very opalescent. It just stunning. Golden Hour, Crocodile Tears. Again, it has more of a bluish green tint to it. And then my favorite is Beluga. Just how pretty is that? So, so beautiful. And Royal Flush. So again, this is on white cardstock and some water-based inks, but here they are on black cardstock. Can we just be in awe of how beautiful those colors are? Again, we have Cross My Heart, Overheated, Golden Hour, Crocodile Tears, and then probably my two favorite, especially the blue, Beluga and Royal Flush. I just want to make everything these colors. I'm going to do all the things with these beautiful shimmery colors. So for my very, very simple, easy peasy cards, I'm just trimming my um, solar paste on the black cardstock down to 1/2 inch strips. And I'm just going to cut as much as I can off of those pieces of black cardstock. And I'm going to pick my two favorite strips of each color and make just two really simple designs. I just wanted to put a rainbow on a card and stamp a sentiment because I just really wanted these solar paste to be the star of my cards. I thought about adding some stamped images, but overall, I just really loved the rainbow look. So I'm going to do one on black cardstock and one on white cardstock so we could just see the vibrancy of these colors against the two different types of backgrounds. And I wish I was filming outside in the sun because I feel like we're going to get the best results seeing these cards in like a nice natural light. I do use as much natural light as I can in my craft room, and even my lights, I have more of a natural white light. But my pictures, I feel like, just don't do it justice. They're so pretty in person. So I used some mint tape with my die cut mini slimline background, and I'm using my grid mat to help me kind of figure out how I'm going to glue these strips on. I wanted it to be centered, so I'm just using that center line, which is about 3 inches from the top and from the bottom is a center. It's almost 6 inches long or tall. So I'm using that line to be kind of where the middle of my card is. So I want my green, the bottom of my strip on the green to be on top of that 3 inch line on the right. And I want my yellow strip to be on the bottom, just touching that 3 inch line on the left. So my green and my yellow, those are centered to my card. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, let me know. I'll try to explain it better. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. Just stick it on there. It'll be beautiful no matter what. And so I'm just using some strong double-sided adhesive tape to glue these strips on. Like I said, my black cardstock wasn't, top quality. So I wanted to use some strong adhesive and make sure those strips are nice and secure onto my background, especially because they're so, they've been, we've been through a lot. They have a ton of solar paste on them, and that can affect the cardstock. So make sure you choose good, sturdy, especially watercolor cardstock. Ranger has some excellent cardstock choices. Honestly, I should have been better. I just was so excited about about getting this solar paste onto some cardstock. So there's the background of one card. You can see the way it sits in the light, just how vibrant and beautiful they are. And I went ahead and just did the black one off camera to save you guys, you don't need to sit here and watch me do the exact same thing twice. And here's how they look. I tried to really get a nice shimmer in my light so that way you could see how pretty they are. I feel like head on they look a little more muted, but once they hit the light and the shine, especially in the daylight, the sunlight, they are so beautiful. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple sentiments that I liked from the Succulent stamp set, which is from Simon Hurley as well, and Ranger. And I'm going to emboss on the black cardstock. So I'm just grabbing some embossing ink and I'm stamping that to the bottom of my rainbow. And this one says "Believe in your dreams." And I'm going to emboss it with some white embossing powder. I made sure to use like a super fine embossing powder. I feel like for sentiments, that's going to give you the best results. And then I'm melting that powder down, and I'm going to let it cool before I grab my Swiffer cloth to wipe off that excess anti-static powder. And for the white card, I feel like, it's June and I have a rainbow, and what better, way to celebrate Pride Month. So I chose the "So Proud of You" sentiment. And I'm just stamping that with my VersaFine Onyx Black ink as it is a white background. So I'm going to have some card bases ready to go. These are 6x6 pieces of cardstock that I just folded in half. I'm using my beautiful ergonomic scoring tool from Trinity Stamps to make sure that have a really good crease. And then I'm going to use some strong sticky tape to glue these onto my card bases. Super duper simple cards, guys. I did not step these up at all, but I just wanted the shine. I wanted the shine to be what drew you to the card, and I just think they are so, so beautiful, and I just love these colors. I'm so excited to incorporate these into my crafts, especially Beluga for water is so stunning. It's my favorite. I'm gonna need at least 10 more jars. But I hope you're as excited as I am and that you have tons of fun using the solar paste. I will have linked down below where you can get it today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll click like, and if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. As always, you can find everything I use down below in the description box. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye!